How do you wipe out an entire species of dragon?
Not just any dragon. The fastest, smartest, most powerful dragon in existence. A dragon that hunts in total darkness. A dragon that has never missed a target. A dragon so deadly that the Viking manual says your only chance is to hide and pray it doesn't find you. How do you kill every single one of them? Who would even want to? What kind of person looks at the most magnificent creature on the planet and decides the world is better off without it?
And the question that nobody is asking, the question that keeps me up at night, what if the extinction isn't over? What if it's still happening right now and Toothless doesn't even know it? Because there's a theory about the Night Fury extinction that is genuinely disturbing, and by the end of this video, you will never look at Toothless the same way again. Let's start with what we know for certain. Toothless is the last Night Fury. The films make this absolutely clear. In the second film, Eret says he thought Night Furies were gone for good. Valka, who spent 20 years living among dragons, says Toothless could be the last survivor, and Grimmel, the man who claims responsibility, says he killed every single one except Toothless. But here's the first question nobody asks. If Night Furies were the most dangerous dragons alive, how did one man kill them all? Think about what we know. Night Furies are invisible at night. They fly faster than any other dragon. They fire plasma blasts that explode on impact. They can echolocate in complete darkness. And according to the third film, they can even cloak themselves by absorbing lightning and becoming completely invisible. Grimmel is smart. He's cunning. He's patient. But he's still just a man with a crossbow and some drugged death grippers. So how did he do it? How did he destroy an entire species that was specifically designed to be unkillable? The answer is horrifying, and it reveals something about Night Furies that even Hiccup didn't know. Night Furies are a strictly monogamous species. They bond with one partner for life, one partner, forever, no second chances, and Grimmel weaponized that. His method was devastatingly simple. He would capture a female dragon and release it near a Night Fury. The Night Fury, driven by millions of years of instinct, would bond with the female. It couldn't help itself. It would drop its guard. It would stop hiding. And the moment the Night Fury was distracted by love, Grimmel would kill them both. Let that sink in for a second. He used their capacity for love as a death trap. The very thing that makes Night Furies noble, their loyalty, their devotion, their refusal to abandon a mate, is exactly what made them extinct. The most powerful dragon in the world was killed by its own heart. But that raises the next question, where did Grimmel even find them? Because nobody else could. The Burkians had been fighting dragons for 300 years, 300 years of war, and in all that time, they had never seen a Night Fury up close. The Dragon Manual had almost no information. Even Bork the Bold, the greatest dragon researcher in Viking history, could barely describe them. All he wrote was hide and pray. So how did Grimmel, a hunter from the southern continent, find enough Night Furies to hunt them to extinction when the most experienced Viking dragon fighters on Earth couldn't locate a single one? Here's where it gets dark. Night Furies likely originated from the Mediterranean region. Both Grimmel and Drago Bludvist come from southern territories. Their accents, their clothing, their fighting styles, everything points to warmer climates far south of Berk. And Grimmel himself reveals a critical weakness in the third film. He says Night Furies cannot survive in consistently cold environments. They need caves near warm waters with large fish supplies. That means their entire population was concentrated in one region, one habitat, one home. And Grimmel knew exactly where it was. He didn't hunt Night Furies across the entire world. He went straight to their homeland, their nesting grounds, the place where they raised their young, where they were safest, where they slept. Remember what Grimmel said? When he was a boy, he found a Night Fury and killed it in its sleep. In its sleep, he started by killing a sleeping dragon, a defenseless creature that had done nothing to him, and his village called him a hero. That praise is what drove him to kill every single one. He didn't just kill dragons, he invaded their home and slaughtered them where they were most vulnerable. That's not hunting, that's genocide. Now here's where Drago Bludvist enters the story, and this is a detail that most fans completely miss. Look at what Drago wears. A cloak made of black, scaly, fireproof dragon hide. It covers his missing arm. It's his most prized possession. Now think about this carefully. In the entire HTTYD universe, There are almost no naturally black dragons. Night terrors are black, but they're tiny, far too small to make a cloak from. The only dragon with black scales large enough to create that cloak is a Night Fury. Drago is wearing the skin of a dead Night Fury. That means two hunters were working the same territory at the same time. Drago wanted to enslave dragons for his army. Grimmel wanted to exterminate them entirely. One captured them, the other killed whatever was left. Between these two men, the Night Furies were being attacked from both sides, enslaved or executed, no third option, no escape. And here's the part that should genuinely disturb you. Toothless survived. But how? If Grimmel hunted for 40 years, if Drago was enslaving them simultaneously, how did one young Night Fury escape the complete destruction of his species? The answer is heartbreaking. Toothless was found near Burke, in the cold north, thousands of miles from where Night Furies are supposed to live, in an environment that Grimmel himself says should have killed him. Nobody explains how he got there, but the most likely answer is this. Toothless was driven north as a hatchling. Probably when his parents were killed, he fled the only direction that no hunter would follow, into the cold, into territory that was supposed to be deadly for his species. He survived where he shouldn't have, alone, no pack, no parents, no mate, no one to teach him what he was, no one to show him what he could become. And that leads to one of the darkest revelations in the entire franchise. Toothless didn't even know what he was capable of.
In the third film, Toothless discovers he can cloak himself by absorbing lightning. This is arguably the most powerful ability any dragon has ever displayed in the franchise. Complete invisibility. And Grimmel, who hunted Night Furies for 40 years, had never seen it before. It genuinely shocked him.
That means one of two things. Either Night Furies gradually lost this ability over generations of being hunted because they never had the safety to practice it, or more likely, young Night Furies need to be taught this skill by older ones. It's learned behavior, passed down from parent to child, from elder to hatchling. Grimmel killed the parents, the teachers, the elders, and with them died the knowledge, the techniques, the survival instincts of an entire species. Toothless only learned to cloak because he watched the Night Fury do it by accident. Without her, he would have lived his entire life never knowing his greatest power existed. The deadliest dragon in the world, walking around with abilities he didn't know he had. Because the people who should have taught him were already dead. Think about what that means. Grimmel didn't just kill Night Furies. He killed their knowledge, their traditions, their culture, their ability to teach the next generation how to survive. That's not just extinction, that's cultural annihilation, the erasure of everything a species ever knew. Now, some fans have proposed that Grimmel lied, that he didn't actually kill all the Night Furies, that maybe some survived, maybe they're hiding in the hidden world right now, maybe Toothless will find them in the sequel. And there's evidence for this. Grimmel bears no trophies, no Night Fury skins or scales, no proof. He's a manipulator by nature, and in the sacred dragon graveyard of Vanaheim, there is no tomb for Night Furies. Every other species has one, but not the Night Furies. Some fans say that's because they never died out. They just went into hiding. It's a comforting theory. I understand why people believe it. I wanted to believe it too. But here's why I think it's wrong. And this is where the real dark theory begins. The part most fans refuse to think about. Even if some Night Furies survived Grimmel, even if a handful escaped into the hidden world, even if they're alive right now, hiding in the deepest caves on Earth, it doesn't matter, because the Night Fury species is already dead, and Toothless is the one who ended it, not on purpose, not with violence. But the moment Toothless mated with the Night Fury instead of another Night Fury, the pure genetic line was broken forever. Look at their children, the Night Lights, Dart, Pouncer, and Rough Runner. They're beautiful, they're playful, they're a perfect blend of both parents, but they are not Night Furies. They're hybrids, half Night Fury, half Light Fury, a new subspecies. They don't have the pure black scales. They can't dive bomb the same way. There's something new, something different, and their children will be even further from pure Night Fury, and their children's children further still. Within 3 or 4 generations, the Night Fury DNA will be so diluted that the species effectively no longer exists. Not extinct through violence, extinct through biology. Grimmel spent 40 years trying to end the Night Furies with a crossbow. He failed. The last one escaped, but Toothless ended the species anyway, through love, through choosing a partner from a different species, through doing exactly what his heart told him to do.
Grimmel's crossbow couldn't finish the job, but genetics will.
And here's the part that truly haunts me, the part that makes this the darkest theory in the franchise. Toothless doesn't know. He doesn't understand genetics. He doesn't realize that by choosing the Light Fury, he sealed the fate of his own kind. He thinks he found love. He thinks he started a family. He thinks the story has a happy ending, and from his perspective it does. He has a mate, he has children, he has a home in the hidden world. He's happy. But from the perspective of the Night Fury species, Toothless is the last page of a book that will never be opened again. He's not the survivor, he's the final chapter, and he doesn't even know the book is closing. The Night Fury extinction isn't a past event. It's happening right now, in the hidden world, slowly, quietly, invisibly, with every generation of Nightlights born, each one a little less Night Fury than the last, each one a step further from what Toothless is, until one day, generations from now, there will be dragons in the hidden world that carry a trace of Night Fury DNA, a shadow of what once existed. But no one will remember what a pure Night Fury looked like, what it sounded like diving through the sky, what it felt like to be the unholy offspring of lightning and death itself. And nobody in the story realizes any of this. That's the dark theory. Not that Grimmel killed all the Night Furies. We already knew that. The dark theory is that even after Grimmel failed, even after Toothless survived everything, the extinction still continues. It just changed form, from violence to genetics, from a crossbow to a bloodline slowly fading into something else. The last Night Fury is alive, and his species is still dying. That's what makes the HTTYD ending so much heavier than most people realize. It's not just a story about a boy saying goodbye to his dragon. It's a story about the last member of a dying species, a dragon who found happiness, who found love, who built a family, and who, without knowing it, wrote the final chapter of his kind, not with a battle, not with a sacrifice, with a choice, the most natural choice in the world, love. So here's my question. Does this change how you see the ending of the hidden world? Does it make Toothless's story sadder? Or does it somehow make it more beautiful? A species that couldn't be destroyed by violence, ending instead through something gentle. I genuinely don't know the answer, and I think that's what makes this the darkest theory in the entire HTTYD franchise, because there's no villain to blame. There's no one to be angry at. There's just nature, running its course, quietly. Drop your thoughts in the comments. This is the most unsettling theory I've ever written, and I need to know if you see it the same way. And if you want more HTTYD theories that go this deep, subscribe to Dragon Theory. Tomorrow, we're investigating who Hiccup's mother really was, because Valka's story has more holes in it than you think. I'll see you then.